Sonic Beats.
Your voice in HD.
So, Peyton, I wanted to talk to you about something.
Please.
I'm a little older than you. Mm-hmm. And, I've been out of the dating scene for a while. And I hear that you went on a date last week. So I just wanted to, look at you. I wanted to talk about A, how it went, and B, what is dating like, for the youths today. How'd it go?
Well, so first off, the date went very well.
Okay, good.
Date went very well. We had a bit of a rocky start because I got there at 7:30 to pick her up for dinner.
So, okay, 7:30.
She thought I was getting there at 7. So I pulled up and she's sitting there on the back of her truck, like, on the tailgate, swinging her legs.
Did she give you a stink eye?
No, she's really cool. But like
she would have to be. Considering you were a half an hour late.
If you see that, I mean, like if I would have seen that from the outside looking in, I mean, I'm like, that dude is not getting a second date. So that was rough. Like that was a rough image because she looked really endearing, but also, I mean, I felt really bad.
Let me stop you right there.
Right.
Before you go on. Were you supposed to be there at 7?
Well, it wasn't. See, the thing was, what we were going for was like a first date, but we had been seeing each other for a little bit.
You've been talking.
We've been talking,
Yep.
And so I had this genius idea.
Finally making an honest woman.
I had the genius idea of saying, hey, let's, in order to stimulate some conversation, why don't we just not talk to each other all day? Well, no texting or anything like that, which in today's dating world, like that's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal. Because
so no Snapchat, no Insta, no texting.
I was like, look, let's.
I mean,
have
do
some
you
great
even
conversation.
use text messages nowadays anymore?
Oh yeah, no, I do.
Okay.
Do. But like apparently, so I do get this a lot. If I ask for a girl's number, they love it. They go above and beyond. They think it is the coolest thing. But if you ask for a girl's Snapchat, she will look at you like you just spat in her mother's face. Let me tell you, Bo. I asked a girl for her Snapchat once, mistakenly. Like this wasn't even like I mistakenly asked for her Snapchat, and she goes, "Oh, massive red flag," and just like walked away. And this was a girl who was clinging to me for about 20 straight minutes beforehand.
So let me get this straight. Modern day dating, asking for a snap is taboo.
Yes.
But when you ask for a number, like people have been doing for like 100 years,
yeah,
that shows you're looking for the right things.
Well, here's the reason why is because Snapchat. If you're looking to get someone's Snapchat, you're just trying to get pictures of them. You're just trying to embrace hookup culture more, right?
Ooh, we don't want to do that.
But when you're texting a girl, you are embracing hookup culture, but you're pretending that you're not. And you can act like you don't really do that kind of thing, And it's almost classier in a way, if that makes sense. It comes off as more subtle. Your intentions are less clear.
Yeah.
It could go either way. But with a Snapchat, that's just kind of like, oh, you just throw everyone on there. You don't let just anyone get your number, right? You let special people get your number.
Right. Only F-boys ask for Snapchat.
Yeah, no, F-boys are totally completely, that's the Snapchat realm is for F-boys and hoes. I mean, that's...
F-boys and hoes.
And... No, I'm not judging anybody. That's just the lingo nowadays,
No, Peyton, I think it's acceptable to call a spade a spade, a hoe a hoe.
But to our point, the date went very well.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about an actual date. And this was an actual date.
An actual date,
okay.
Yes.
So you're a half an hour late.
Half hour late. Well, because, like I said earlier, we were doing this no contact thing, right? Like I was like, and this was weird for her. Like she was like, wait, I'm not supposed to text you all day? And And I was like, yeah, why not? I mean, it's just that way we can have great conversation later on. We have things to talk about, and talk about your day, whatnot. And so I thought it'd be pretty cool. And then she thought I was picking her up at 7, and I was just going to pick her up whenever I wanted, essentially. And so, she called me. She's like, hey, where are you at? I said, oh, I'm about to leave. She goes, what do you mean? I thought you were getting here at 7. And so, there's a whole thing. But it was all in good spirit. Nobody's feelings were hurt. I took her to nice dinner. Took her to a very nice dinner. And then we saw Guardians of the Galaxy afterwards.
Oh, that's how you see Guardians.
That's how we saw Guardians.
And full circle.
Full circle.
Full
baby.
circle.
We are a narrative
all right, so
here.
you were a half an hour late, but other than that, it was a successful.
Oh, yeah.
You know what, Peyton? This doesn't sound like a... This sounds like a typical date, like what we used to do back in the day.
No, it was great.
Little dinner, little movies.
Well, yeah, and then that was the thing is another rule I made was that you couldn't be on your phone during the date. Like, this is what modern dating is like. Like, you make recommendations like this, and it's it
has to be. I was about to say, it astonished her. She's like, "What? You don't want me to look at my phone during the date?"
She normally does that. Like, that was one thing that stood out about her is that she would go out of her way to not be on her phone around me initially.
Oh, that's sweet.
But now
that means she
sort
cares.
of like making a point of it, or even like subconscious. You're making it clear. It's like, no, we're not touching our phones right now. Like, it's a little jarring for people, I think. And I've done this multiple times, and it goes the same exact way every time, is that they're shocked. Women are shocked. And so it's interesting. It's very interesting, the dating world right now. But I think we went on a pretty good one. So
there you go.
Hoping for a second. I think
hoping for a second. Good for you. Good for you. So you didn't blow it. You didn't blow it.
Did not blow it.
Well, that's good. Yeah. That's good. Okay, no, it's very interesting stuff with the old Snapchat asking for the number.
Oh yeah.
Do you find yourself on any other modern day apps, or I mean, now that you're on an official date, are you off applications and such?
Well, I really don't use them as much as I did.
Okay.
Because I don't. I mean, that's the whole point of Snapchat.
You're not part of hookup culture anymore.
Not anymore. However, I am very proud of this. I never downloaded Tinder or Hinge or
Bumble,
whatever the other hot ones are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's like 20 more. Mm-hmm. But I'm very proud of the fact that
I've never used any of these things, but I hear it's what the youths are doing. But obviously, you. You want
to hear something else?
You
hear something just
away.
as crazy? Okay. So it's been pointed out to me, and I had no idea this existed. But women have a superpower.
Do tell.
So I have a lot of girlfriends, right? Like, no, friends that are girls.
Okay, there we go. Thanks for clarifying.
Sorry. Friends that are girls that I'm very close with, love them to death.
And have hooked up with.
No. No. Strictly off limits. But
good for you.
Yeah. You got to create boundaries. It's healthy.
Yep.
But apparently it is normal for younger women now, and I've been told this repeatedly by the women I hang out with, that they can utilize dating apps to get things done for them. So let me elaborate. There was one primary example Hold on.
Are you about to go into simp culture right now?
Yes, but also I can't believe it. So basically, these women will put on Tinder, hey, need a maintenance job done, or hey, need my water softener cleaned out, or something like that.
Need my pipes cleaned.
And, but like they actually mean it. No, and it's not innuendo, man. Like they actually like use those apps to get those favors done for them, and it's wild. Like imagine that. Like, I could never imagine.
So they've never just like Googled a plumber?
No, because it's free if you do it this way.
Oh, so simps, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
and
gotcha.
it's like, first of all, what kind of guys?
For all those who don't know what a simp is, a simp is basically what Peyton's describing, who does favors, gives girls money on the internet, and they don't get any. Basically, they have a girlfriend without any girlfriend benefits.
Yeah, none. Like no benefits at all. You may be spending time with them, but you're not gonna get
on the interweb.
right. Yeah, but you're not gonna get that like one-on-one time or any sort of affirmation from them or about anything. So, yes, it's insane to me. I mean, I had no idea this, but apparently, I mean, it's very common. It's very common. I had no idea.
Hey,
no
Peyton,
idea.
Welcome to the internet. Yes, this
This
is very
Peyton
prevalent.
discovers the internet. Okay, like that's what I feel like right now. And they all looked at me like I was crazy. Like I was like, yeah. Why wouldn't you do
Hold
that?
on. These women looked at you like
I was crazy.
Like you were crazy because either A, you weren't willing to do free stuff for them, or you were surprised that so many guys were.
Well, that's the thing. I'm surprised by the guys. I mean, where's the self-respect, And even then, let's assume that maybe you do get something in return, right, for your services.
Well, thanks for the air quotes.
That doesn't seem fulfilling to me at all. Like if I am to interact with someone in an intimate way, and I only word it like that because of YouTube. I want to be wanted. I want someone who's gonna be like I want that dude. Right
you would
there.
say you're looking for a traditional relationship, not so much a
or just not to be used. I mean, that'd be great.
Well, yeah.
And it just I don't know how that can be. Like how I mean, if you do that, good for you. I mean, if you go around cleaning a bunch of women's like yards for and then they return I mean, good for you, buddy. Yeah, I mean, like I can't.
Well, yeah, that's modern commerce right there.
Right, but
when it's
I don't know
when it's
I can't get
not
behind it.
when
I
it's
can't.
not reciprocated and you're just doing it.
You're on the hook.
Yeah.
I mean, you were on the hook, and How I Met Your Mother went into very great detail about this. But yeah, you get stuck on the hook. Then they just start breadcrumbing you throughout the relationship. Like, oh, you can do this. Oh, we can hang out then. It's no, it's disgusting.
All right, but this is not happening to you.
No.
You went on a genuine
I went on
date.
an actual great date.
Great date.
Great date. Well, I also knew her already, so it was a bit of a cheat code. But
were you guys friends beforehand?
yes, we were friends beforehand.
Well, that's cool.
So, yeah, it was very, very good. Very good
cool.
date. But yeah, that's what's been going on in the life of Peyton.
You guys and your all the modern technology
Dating
and
culture,
social
yeah.
media.
Dating culture is very different, I would say.
Well, it's because you people rarely ever talk to each other in person.
Well, yeah, and I also think it's alien to me because I've been around you all my life, and I've been around other people like you, and they.
What do you mean, you people?
and like you guys have sort of raised me, to in my social interactions. The way I act is literally modeled after you and two other people.
So you mean not being weird when you're in by somebody?
Right. Well, also being very
physical.
personable and starting conversations
Wow,
and staying engaged and not being on your phone. Like that was how I grew up, and so to see technology so prevalent and borderline toxic presence of technology,
well,
it's shocking.
It's funny. My daughter, talking about your generation, my daughter who's younger than you, obviously, but she's going out and getting jobs. So she's interviewing for jobs and such.
Uh-oh.
And, the funny thing about it is, so she, it's going into the summer and she's dropping off her applications. And I am surprised. She's getting a lot of callbacks. She's getting a lot of in-person interviews.
Oh.
And one of the things that she's getting is most people, after they get past the resume or the application phase, don't know how to interact with people in person.
Yeah.
Like they get really weird or standoffish because it's not one of those, it's not as learned as it used to be, or not as common because a lot of people are talking through technology. So, a kid who is personable all of a sudden has a lot of jobs available to them because it's like, oh, like you can interact with people and not, turn them off or anything like that. You can actually like, oh, okay, she's pleasant to be around or he's pleasant to be around, however you want.
Well, yeah, I think that's really interesting because I had a similar observation at college when I was at school. My end of my sophomore year going into my junior year is when the virus hit. And
of unknown origin.
Of unknown origin.
Yep.
And they, so then what was it? Junior year went by, everyone was fine, but then senior year came along. And during my junior year, the seniors in high school they had online classes, not a lot of sports happening, didn't really have a lot of prom or dancing or anything like that. It was and even if it was, there was practicing social distancing and whatnot. So, you had a whole class. All 4 years got affected, really. But, they spend most of the time inside. Like, the primary developmental years of high school, where you literally learn to socially adapt and thrive.
Oh, yeah.
You had it completely exploited.
Oh, yeah. The virus of unknown origin created a lot of weird kids. That needed to be around other kids.
My senior year, this freshman class came in. And we just looked at each other, man. The sophomores, the juniors in my class, the senior class, we're just like, what is going on with these kids? And they were so isolated. They were so secluded, very clingy to home, obviously. When you're not going to class and when you're sleeping through class. And because, they admitted that happened. I did the same thing in college, so I'm not going to knock them. But it sucks, and it seems so rare now to have personable young people, and it's really unfortunate, really. Like, even at my job, I see young people all the time, and they're the quietest ones. Mm-hmm. I interact so well with older customers.
Yeah.
And they're so personal. They ask me how I'm doing. They're like, "Oh, you do anything fun this weekend?" I don't get that if I get that from anyone my age, I have to go above and beyond to get that sort of interaction.
I was about to say, anyone your age actually going into the bank? Few far between.
There's a few. There's definitely a few.
Getting a lot of those gray hairs, are you?
Oh yeah, no. Old women love me.
Well, as they should.
They love me, man.
You're easy on the eyes. You're easy on the eyes.
But
if I was an older lady, I'd be into you too.
I appreciate it.
Hey, you know what?
Bow Island, you heard it here first.
We'll be back.
With that, we will take a brief break.